I don't know who's on there or who's not on there. We've never done this before, so I am actually feeling a little bit nervous. But anyway, I just want to say to you all, hi, and for those of you who come in to Taste and See regularly, I've actually been really missing you. So I hope that lockdown's not been too horrific for you. We're only at the very beginning. So anyway, we're going to do some easy cooking demos today. We're going to start off with a black eye bean stew, and you're more than welcome. Apparently you can text in questions or say, hi, you're here. Hope's on the phone, so she will be the one who sees that. I've got no idea what's going on. But anyway, we're going to start with a black eye bean stew, but because it is live, I've had to start cooking the beans. So the beans come dry, as you all know. Now these are the black eye beans that I've used, so they're dry. So what I do with them first is I put them in a pot of water and I bring them to the boil for 10 minutes. Then after that 10 minutes, I take the water off because it's dirty, and that's what will give you gas or sore stomachs or just make them a little bit not so tasty to eat. So take the water off once they've come to the boil for 10 minutes, boil them again. You'll find that the water still goes dirty, so I take that off as well and then start again. So I've got the Kohler stove. This is the love of my life, this stove. So it's actually a Homewood stove. Actually, they're built in Whangarei at the money factory. So I've got my beans going nicely and I've cooked them, so they're actually ready to roll for us so that we can add the other stuff in. So what I would put in my beans here is, and I have this chopped so that we're not mucking around with time, but I've got some onion, so one large onion, and then I don't waste any greens. So any of the little leaves or the greenery off my broccoli that I'm going to be using for something else, I chop up like this and I put it into the stews. So we've got one large onion and then 4 nice, they were just sort of reasonable sized carrots. I don't peel them because they're organic and all that goodness is just under the skin, so you want that to be really nice. I did a little bit of celery, just the tops of a bunch of celery, just enough to bring it taste. Then I like sage, so I've put some sage in here. It's about 2 tablespoons of sage, a tablespoon of dried garlic. You can use fresh garlic, whatever way you like it. Don't forget, you're more than welcome to say hi to us so that we know you're there. We've got a tablespoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of cumin and a little teaspoon of coriander. So I'm going to pop that into my beans. Oh, it's raining again up here. Is it raining with you guys? Nobody's talking to us. Oh, lots of people are talking to us, Hope said. I just can't see you. So we'll put everything into this pot. Very yummy. Hope's not going to tell me who's talking. She's mean. She told me the one thing that I wasn't allowed to do was to make her laugh. So I do everything I can to make her laugh, y'all. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pop this all into the pot and put its lid back on, and we just want to bring that to the boil again. Give it a stir, mix all those goodies in there, and by now you don't have a lot of water left in here. Remember that you've cleaned it out a couple of times, and my water is nice and fresh and clean looking. So now we just want to cook that up so that all those tastes of those veggies and herbs go through those beans. Okay, and beans are a great protein. They're also at this time, like this is a great thing to have in your pantry because it's not going to go off on you. And you know, we know we've got 4 weeks of lockdown, but who knows how long it could be. And so beans are so much easier. And like I've got my pantry up there, that's how I normally have my pantry. It's actually been nice to be home after 15 months of not being here to have a pantry again. So yeah, have your beans and your things so that they will keep for a long time. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to let those beans over there cook, and we're going to go and do something else so that you're not waiting because we are live. So we're going to do a broccoli salad. Now I have already chopped the broccoli. It was a fresh organic broccoli. If any of you got these the other day, they were so yummy. But don't throw this part away. So you might want to chop the very end off it. Our horses will be sad we're not chucking them away. But keep this part, because maybe tomorrow, no not tomorrow because I'm not doing cooking demos on Sabbath, but maybe Sunday we can show you how to make a broccoli soup or a veggie soup with the scraps and things. So now we're going to make a broccoli salad, and I just chop it up really fine and pop that in there. And that's actually all that I'm going to put in that, and I'm going to show you a dressing that we are going to make on that broccoli salad. And I'm going to get I've cooked up some potatoes as well, because I'm trying to show you how to do a whole meal, how that would look. So we'll go and get the potatoes.
While you're getting the potatoes, Jessica just asked what other bean could you use instead of the black-eyed beans?
You can actually use any beans you want. Hi Jessica. You can use any beans that you want, so that doesn't have to be black-eyed beans. The reason I use black-eyed beans in this recipe is just because it gives you variety. So you've got lots of beans. You could use a lentil even, chickpeas. You can use anything you want. Okay, so I've just chopped those potatoes up nice and small. I've cubed them there, and they've got nothing to do with the broccoli. I'm just putting them in the same dish just to make it easy for the demo. And then to show you that I'm going to make one dressing, but you can use it for lots of different things. So this is another favourite of mine. I love my blender, and that's something that you really do need if you're starting to do plant-based cooking or any cooking, is you need a really good high-powered blender. So, and over here we've got some capsicum, and I don't know if you've got it, but mine come cut. So you need your high-powered blender, and you're going to chop up your red capsicum. Red capsicum is really tasty. It almost gives it a cheesy flavour for this dressing. And then I'm still blessed enough to have lemons out in my lemon trees. So you always give them a roll, makes them juicier, and then we'll squeeze one lemon into this mixture. Now I don't worry about pips. When you're putting it into a sauce like this blender will blend them up nicely.
What brand of blender is your blender, Mum?
So my blender is a Vitamix, and it's kind of like the Mercedes or the Rolls Royce of blenders. I love it, and if you're going to cook a lot, this would be the blender that I recommend. But I also recommend that you look after them, because they're not cheap. But the truth is that actually through Taste and See you could get blenders. This high-powered one, so there's different levels of strength even with your Vitamix, and this one we could get for, I think it's around about $1,800. Not that I'm here to try and sell anything to you, but I think we can get them for about that price for you. Now this blender, my gorgeous husband bought for me 17 years ago, somewhere around there, and I am extremely hard on blenders. So the only thing that I've had to do in that 17 years is buy another jug. And so it's gone all that time. So they're amazing. So in this we've put in your red capsicum, some lemon juice. We're going to put some salt in here. Oh, here it is. So we're going to pop some salt in. Now I'm terrible at measuring. I'm a dump cook. So I'll just get a spoon, sorry. So I would say about a teaspoon of salt. And I love either the Himalayan salt or the Malcolm Harker salt. Malcolm Harker's has lots of minerals in it, so that's pretty yummy. And then you can put this in. This is optional, but it does give it that cheesy, savoury taste. And it's debatable whether it's got some B12 in it or not, but let's pop it in anyway, just in case. So that's your yeast flakes, sorry. Those are your yeast flakes. And then last but not least, I thought I was organised, but I forgot the water. We're going to pop some water in here. I'll use my pot. And put some water in. Just pop that in there.
Tracy
Now-
said love your pajamas.
Oh yeah, I'm the pajama queen. I've got 4 weeks to wear my pajama pants, Trace. And cashews. So the cashews are what make this sauce creamy. So again, it's about between half a cup and a cup. And really that depends on whether you're on a budget or not, or how you're feeling in the morning. Because the less that you put in, the less creamy it is. The more you put in, obviously the more creamy it is. Now I would recommend, if I was you, to just pop your sound down for a minute. This is why I love this blender. You will not get nuts and seeds and that ground so smoothly, so quickly without a high-powered blender like this. Now, I don't know about you, but I was always taught when I went through varsity doing my training that you've got to taste it. So let's have a try. Oh, it's terrible. Nah, it's really nice. That's really nice. You could add a little bit more salt to that if you wanted. I prefer not to. Now the cool part about this is you put this over the top of these taties, and then let's say you want to grill those potatoes. Yum. Really yum. So grill them. Think about what else you could use this for. You could put it on top of pizza. If you do a baked potato with broccoli in the middle of it, put it on top of that. Anything where you want cheese, boil up some pasta and put this over it. Super yummy, super yummy. And then for in your broccoli salad, we just put some on here and give that a stir in. And there you go. Super easy, eh? Super easy. Has anybody got any questions about any of this so far? Talk to me, don't leave me here all by myself. Okay, so I would dish this up. Now I've put a plate. Greens are really important, especially at this time. You know, I'm hearing lots and lots about what you can do if you get this virus. I'm going, let's put the fence at the top of the hill instead of having the ambulance at the bottom of the hill to catch people that are falling. In other words, let's build up your immune system and get you healthy so by God's grace you don't get the virus. Okay. And if you do get it, that your body's able to fight it off. So I've put a nice plate of spinach there. I'll put your broccoli on your side. I'm not going to grill the potatoes, but you could grill potatoes. Okay, Hope says we've got 2 questions.
First one, will you be sharing written recipes?
Ah, you horrible people. Yes, I'll get Hope to do that. I'm pretty hopeless at that. And there's some potato. What was the second question?
You kind of just answered that one. Just repeat the ingredients again for the sauce, but if we're doing written recipes, we can.
Okay. I'm happy to repeat it again if you want to write it down now. Otherwise, when can you get it done, Hope?
Not sure.
We'll try and get it done by, in the next hour or so. Okay? Otherwise, it's just 1 red capsicum. You can use yellow, red, or I don't say use green. Green are actually unripe capsicums. They're actually a capsicum of any other colour, just not ripe. So that's not going to be good for your tummy. Okay? So use 1 red capsicum, juice of a lemon, about a teaspoon of salt. I'm going too fast, aren't I? 1 red capsicum, juice of a lemon, teaspoon of salt, a half to a cup of cashews. I used about a cup and that came up really nicely. And optional, you can put a tablespoon of yeast flakes in. And then just put a little bit of water. So I would say about half a cup of water and then blend the life out of it. Now you can put this in a jar in your fridge and it'll keep for at least a week, but maybe 2. Okay, we're going to the beans. Don't you love my oven? People say to me, how do you cook on that thing? But it's just as good as a stovetop. Well, this looks great. This looks really nice. I'm actually going to take that off now, and it's ready for us to do the last little bit with that. And then we've got lunch. It smells great, and I wish I could give it to you. I wish you were here. Okay, so we've got our beans. I don't know if you can come in on this, Hope, but this is what they look like right now. Super yummy. It's probably a bit steamy, is it? No? Okay, so they're yummy. You could actually, if you want to, you could eat them just like that. But I don't like them just like that. I like them with a bit more taste. So I have put, I put some salt in there, and I put some garlic, and I put some herbs in there, and some yeast flakes. But I'm going to put some tomato paste in there.
Somebody just asked with the dressing, do you need to soak the cashews or?
So that's optional. You can soak them if you want to, and everybody's got a different little decision on that. Me personally, because it's about digestion, I've just blended them in the blender, and so I don't worry. But of course you can if you want to. And if you were just going to eat them like that in a salad, then I would suggest that you soak them. My spoon doesn't fit. I'm sorry. I thought I had everything organised, so this is probably a bit annoying me going backwards and forwards. Now normally I try and use as much organic as I can. I know it seems like it's more expensive, but especially for those of you who've been on the green juice programs, you get to realise that the better the quality of food that you eat, the less you have to eat. For some of us that's a bit of a shame, but the less you have to eat. So I'm going to put 2 dessert spoons of tomato paste in there. And I have found, actually, I'm not trying to push products, but this one at the supermarket, if you're not going to go for organic, it's not too bad. Now, this is one of my favourites, and you're either going to love this or you're not going to like it at all. But here's my suggestion. My suggestion is that you start to teach yourself to like tahini. And the easiest way to do that is by putting it into recipes. So we're going to put a yummy big heaped dessert spoon. It's probably more like a tablespoon in there, and I made a mess. Now, tahini is great. It has a thing called tryptophan in it, and that's fantastic for your mental health. It's really good for if you battle with depression. And you know, at this time, let's be honest, there's quite a lot of uncertainty for people, and some people have got anxiety and fear about what's going on. So having good mental health is great at this time. So we'll stir this in. This just is starting to smell really, really yummy. Remember that I cook by principle, not necessarily by recipe. So if you don't have things, you can easily swap them over. Okay, so example, let's say you don't like garlic, just don't put garlic in it. If you prefer to put some other veggie in, I really like the red carrot in it just because it gives it a really nice colour. But just play, it's just about principle. You know, the things that you need to put in, you need to put something salty, you need to put something savoury, you need to put something sort of sweetish. Okay, all this is looking good. Now, again, this is optional. This is a beautiful, it's actually that macro organic coconut cream from the supermarket. So you can go and stand in line for an hour for a can of macro coconut cream. Nah, I don't know what's going on down there at the moment. I would say it's probably not too bad. And they are doing a great job down there at the supermarket, eh? It must have been really hard on them the last few weeks, or a week at least. Okay, so we've got about 1/4 cup of coconut cream in there, and we're going to stir that in together. Yum. This, I wish you could smell it. I wish I could put this onto the phone and you could smell it. It smells so good. Now, here's the reality. We don't all have the same taste buds, and we aren't all going to enjoy the same things, and someone might like this a little bit stronger than I've made it, or a little bit less tasty than I've made it. just play, just fiddle, add, take away. And then pop it on your plate for lunch. Yum. Doesn't that look good? No? I think that's yummy. So we've got your broccoli salad there, and you've used your capsicum dressing. You got your taties, and we could have grilled those, and then you've got your beans. So you've got a complete protein there with your beans and taties. And don't forget, the poor potato gets a bit of a rough spell. The potatoes are so good for us. It's what we do with them that we often make them very caloric dense. In other words, we put sour creams and we do them in oil, or we turn them into chips, or we turn them into potato chips, and that's what makes them unhealthy. But the good old potato, perfect. Okay guys. Oh, we've got a question. Hope.
You're getting lots of comments on your kitchen.
Oh.
One of them is your fruit bowl made into your bench?
Oh, there you go. So my fruit bowl is a barrel, is the wine barrel, and yes, it's in my bench. And then this cool thing is my banana hanger, which I thought they were really dumb when I went to the States, but I found out they're great. They keep your bananas. Jan saved lots of wood for me over the years, and we got to use lots of it, so yeah. We normally grow wheatgrass. We've got a trough here in the middle of our bench, and we normally grow wheatgrass up the middle of here, but because I haven't been home and I've been at the cafe, that's obviously not there at the moment. Okay, well, lovely to be with you all. I wish I could give you a hug, but know that I have. And yeah, if you need anything or want us, we are actually going to be open one day a week, and so we won't be able to do cabinet food, but we are able to do juices and salads, and we will be able to sell products. So we'll have, you know, the gluten-free breads and the cheeses and the yogurts. We'll have all the dried food there, and some of that box stuff that we got in. So don't panic if you run out, we will be there. We haven't chosen the day yet because we want to make sure that all our suppliers have got our stuff there on time, but it's looking like it might be Wednesday or Thursday, but we'll keep you tuned, eh? Love you guys heaps, and remember that Jesus is in love with you too. Okay, see you guys, bye.